England's supermarkets are not just selling food anymore. They're showing who thrives, who struggles, and how the country is split down. While one chain feeds the wealthy, the other serves those watching every penny. When comparing Aldi and Waitrose, the gap becomes impossible to ignore. Aldi builds its stores in areas where affordability decides everything, while Waitrose expands in places where lifestyle, comfort, and higher income set the tone. Aldi sits close to neighborhoods where weekly budgets matter. Waitrose, and the majority of them are in the south, where the average income is higher and the cost of living rises with it. That contrast alone shows how geography mirrors inequality. This gap didn't just show, it became the stage for rapid growth and competition. Aldi grows faster than any other major UK supermarket over the last decade and now operates more than 1,000 UK stores. Its market share climbs from 2% in 2003 to more than 10% by 2023. The chain captures customers squeezed by stagnant wages, rising fuel bills, and record food inflation. Shoppers also notice that certain essentials cost far less at Aldi. A full weekly basket averages around £70 at Aldi, compared to more than £115 at Waitrose. It holds around 390 stores during major price comparisons. The numbers reveal a truth that no branding can hide, since the savings decide where millions shop. While Aldi raced ahead on price and reach, Waitrose held its own by appealing to a different shopper entirely. Waitrose positioned itself at the opposite end of the battlefield. It offered product quality, ethical sourcing, and premium goods to customers who wanted reliability over price. The chain maintained loyalty through its focus on service, store design, and range. Waitrose shoppers spend more per visit than customers at value retailers. They also tend to come from households earning above the national median income, which is around £33,000 per year. The supermarket became a symbol of comfort and stability in regions that felt sheltered from the harshest effects of austerity. But the strategies of these chains become even clearer when you look at where the stores actually sit. A map of locations shows England's divide with startling accuracy, since Aldi expands rapidly in the Midlands and the North, while Waitrose dominates large parts of the Southeast. Surrey alone holds more than 20 Waitrose branches, while entire northern counties have none. Aldi placed dozens of new stores across Yorkshire, Greater Manchester, and the North East. This distribution is not random, it mirrors income levels, house prices, council funding, and long-term job prospects. The divide on the map is the divide in real life. Location set the stage, but pricing revealed just how stark the differences really were. Price differences make the split even sharper. Research from consumer groups finds that 20 essential items cost nearly 35% less at Aldi in 2023. 5 of the most common household staples, pasta, milk, bread, eggs, and rice, constantly rank cheaper at Aldi than at every major competitor. Waitrose prices its goods higher due to supply standards, staff wages, and investment in quality. Yet the gap creates two different realities. In one, families calculate every penny. On the other hand, customers pay more without hesitation. The contrast reveals how unequal the economy has become. And beyond the numbers, the way people shop also highlights the divide. Store experience tells a similar story. Aldi designs its layout for speed, efficiency, and low overhead costs. Products are left in boxes, aisles move quickly, and tills push customers through fast. Waitrose focuses on calm lighting, wider aisles, and curated ranges. Shoppers who visit both chains describe Aldi as functional and Waitrose as curated. These experiences reflect expectations shaped by income, time, and lifestyle. The difference shows how sharply consumer habits split across England. Loyalty surveys showed that southern shoppers preferred Waitrose by large margins, while northern and Midlands regions leaned toward Aldi and other value chains. Even delivery services revealed the gap. Online shopping through premium retailers remained heavily concentrated in the south, while click-and-collect demand at value stores grew faster in northern towns. This pattern appeared again and again across statistics, since the type of supermarket people chose reflected the realities of their income, the costs of their region, and the opportunities around them. This loyalty was tested and reshaped as the cost of living crisis hit families nationwide. The cost of living crisis widened the gap even further. Food inflation reached a peak of 19.1% in 2023, the highest rate in more than 40 years. Millions turned to discount chains as essentials became harder to afford. Aldi recorded record customer numbers, with an increase of more than 1 million additional shoppers in a single year. Waitrose saw a decline in footfall during the same period, although it kept a strong base of higher-income households. The crisis exposed how fragile the country's financial system had become and how quickly shoppers altered their habits when pressured. Household spending habits highlighted the growing gap. According to the Office for National Statistics 2023, households in the southeast spent an average of £640 per week on groceries. In the northeast, households spent just £475, a 35% difference that shaped shopping habits. Value supermarkets like Aldi captured the bulk of northern spending, but the premium chains like Waitrose benefited from southern households with higher disposable income. The disparity was amplified by the rise of online grocery delivery, which reached 40% of all grocery purchases in London, and that is compared to just 18% in northern towns. It shows that infrastructure and income combined to reinforce the supermarket divide. If you want more deep dives, hit subscribe. Economic data proved the divide was structural. South East England held the highest average weekly household income in the UK at more than £800. Regions like the North East averaged less than £650. Housing followed the same pattern, since the average home in the South cost more than £470,000, while northern regions averaged less than £250,000. This gap shaped spending power, store placement, and supermarket success. Waitrose thrived where income supported its prices. Aldi thrived where affordability was essential. And while the South prospered, northern towns faced steeper challenges and fewer resources. Northern towns also struggled with lower council funding and slower investment. Government spending per person fell sharply after 2010, yet the decline hit northern councils far harder than southern ones. Reports showed that some northern authorities lost more than 30% of their spending power, which impacted transport, services, and local development. These conditions shaped which supermarkets could succeed. Places with chronic underinvestment leaned on value chains. Regions with stronger funding supported premium chains. The environment built the pattern, and the pattern repeated itself. But over time, these economic differences evolved into distinct cultural identities tied to shopping choices. The choice between Aldi and Waitrose also became cultural. Aldi represented practicality, resilience, and budget-first thinking. Waitrose represented choice, comfort, and security. Communities living with fewer opportunities valued reliability over branding. Communities with stable incomes valued convenience and quality. The divide was no longer just economic, it turned into a symbol of two different versions of England living side by side. Market data showed that Aldi overtook Morrison's in 2022 to become the fourth largest supermarket in the UK. Waitrose remained seventh, yet it remained profitable due to its customer base. Aldi won through volume, and Waitrose won by margin. Each of them succeeded in the region most aligned with its strengths. The war created no single winner, since both chains grew stronger by serving opposite ends of the divide. And the path ahead depends on national investment, regional renewal, infrastructure, and long-term planning. The question isn't which supermarket wins next. It is what the map will look like if the divide continues to grow year after year.